Hello, hello. I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today, we're looking at Sobble, Drizzile, and Inteleon. And in the Grookey episode, we forgot Ranker. I mean, edited in later. And then for Score Bunny, we forgot to do comment suggestions. So let's see what we're going to forget today. It's going to take me a second to get back in the groove of things, I guess. Oh my gosh, I really love Austin Showers. Holy shit, that is a good one. Alright, so let's try and start top to bottom, left to right, because, like, oh, see, when I heard the leaks about Inteleon and all that, people were upset and were like, oh yeah, Sobble's gonna have this spy motif. I'm like, I fuck with that. Hell yeah, I love James Bond. But other people didn't like it because they resonated more with a little crybaby, because I guess that's what people are. But James Pond, for those of you who don't know, that's an official, actual James Bond parody spin-off point-and-click adventure, similar to things like Putt Putt or Pajama Sam, just in case you didn't know. 007, I've seen this before too. Like, a lot of these I've seen when looking up other nicknames, mostly Galarian stuff like Rapidash or Stunfisk or something. So it's like it's not uncommon for me to have seen it. Agent H2O, I haven't seen. It's okay. Gex, it's only worth acknowledging just because of the fact that it Lizard Boy, and we've seen it before. But for me personally, I use Gex in 3D for my Sceptile, just because of the joke of it. I don't know, it just hit me one day, and that's what I do. And I like Gex in 3D much better than just Gex by itself. Austin Showers, though, that I've never seen before, and I really fucking love that one. Like, I gotta write that down now. Like, whoever thought of that was really clever. In case you live under a rock and don't know, Austin Powers is a spoof of James Bond. GoldenEye, it makes sense. People that know literally nothing think, GoldenEye, that is the only James Bond. And that's it. And that's really kind of what... I feel like it goes to show you what a game can do for a franchise. Randall, I know, is referring to Monsters, Inc., but I would not recommend it. First off, if you want to go that route, maybe go with Kecleon, the thing that turns invisible, canonically. And even then, Randall's just the name of some dumbass. I know, I work with a guy whose last name is Randall. Not technically the same, but close enough. SBO, I have that written down as well. I want to say it's Sonic, if I remember right. It makes sense. It's fine. Oh, I mean, I guess Inteleon turns invisible when it gets wet. Okay, so this is a fun story that, interesting to show what coincidentally works. The Leon being the champion. But you know what? I just counted, and this, without the space, I missed the I apparently, is 12 characters. So if you just included both fucking names instead of just the first name of just some stupid asshole, you would not have people get confused. I would not have drawn the connection had it not been for the explanation. Leon's 4 letters. You can fit the last name in there, and then people can Google that. I worked with a Leon! He was an old black man who had no time for your shit. People think old people are nice. Hell no, old people don't want to deal with you. I'll acknowledge Mystique because I know we've talked about it before. If you ask me to pinpoint who, I don't know. My first thought's Ditto, but I don't know. Do I think there's better choices for Mystique? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Mystique changes, like, her appearance. I don't think she turns invisible. I don't know, I didn't really watch X-Men as a kid. But just for the sake of it, we can acknowledge it. It's blue and slender. So reading this actually kind of made me think of No More Heroes 3 and how there was the sniper assassin that you technically here's spoilers. You technically don't get to fight because he gets killed. But I was like, oh, naming it after him would be nice until I double checked and his name is just Sniping Lee. That's not a very inspiring name, but I guess if you wanted to, you could. I would rank it pretty low, but I mean, it's definitely an idea nobody else is going to think of.
3, 2, 1.
I guess writing it outright is another different way of doing it. Wet Detective. Deadshot, I remember being used, and I want to say that was the one I decided for Blastoise, which is, I suppose if you wanted to, if this episode doesn't help you, maybe check out the Blastoise episode. It's very old, by the way, my third video, but they do share a similar gun water motif at very least, if you wanted that. If you wanted to do something different, Jason Bourne has not been mentioned yet, so it's only fair to do that too. What is another one? Johnny English? I don't think Johnny English will fit, but Jason Bourne will. I just want you guys to see this real quick. This is beautiful. My first name rocks, okay? And well, the things were a different picture a second ago, but whatever. Secret meaning, hello, who is that? She's cutting her nose. Lucky gem, day, botanicals, colors, all shades of green. You are a friend to... These are all different as well. It was showing different things a second ago. You are an enemy too? Bro, I need to find out who my fucking enemy is. If I saw Umed, I might fuck him up too. The Social Security has zero data on the record of the name. I wonder why that might be. But if you go like to the very top, recent names that rock? Okay. That's a real name at least there. What the fuck is an ultra shiny? Pond Wick, I guess, instead of John Wick. Hey look, Johnny English, except they spelled it wrong. I just want to point out, Goldfinger at least makes way more sense than Goldeneye. But I have that saved for a different Pokemon. Ocean Powers, I guess. I think Austin Showers knocks it out of the water. Wow! No pun intended. Does Austin Showers even fit? I think that's 13 characters. That's probably too long. That's a shame. That's a real good one. Alternative idea. I did see someone put Frog Connery on GameFAQs, and I was like, wow, that's like really fucking bad. Like, you tried making a pun, and then you like broke your jaw in the process. If you just want to like take a actor that portrayed Bond and use him as an idea, that's an idea. You've got Sean Connery, excuse me, I can say Pierce Brosnan. Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, George Lazenby, Daniel Craig, and I think that's all of them, right? It should be 6. You can go with last names, though maybe Roger Moore can fit entirely. Daniel Craig can fit entirely. The rest of them you could just do last names and they'd be fine. Tim Dalton. Okay, but we looked at everything. We didn't forget Ranker. I almost did, and then I was like, hold on, we gotta do Ranker. So yeah. And then I also misspelled it. I didn't think it was gonna spoil that for you. But yes, I misspelled Inteleon. Sometimes I don't know how the names are spelled. The more recent the Pokemon, the more likely it is to have happen. Or depending on how ridiculous that Pokemon's name is. Now, before I forget again, comment suggestions. We only have just this one. Agent Boohoo. Don't care for that, but I at least understand the reasoning behind it. In other words, there's nothing else on here that we haven't already seen or is worth talking about. But it's just there for you. The things worth mentioning, Bubble, in case you didn't figure out by now. The James Bond motif is pretty much all you're getting here. If you don't lean into the spies, well, you're wrong, apparently. So just have that one in mind. Okay, let's go over it. So James Pond, 007, SBO, H2 007. I don't know if that one... I feel like we saw something similar on Nick Finder, but it wasn't quite the same. But that was one I have written down. H2O 007. It's alright with me. I like that one. Did say SBO. Austin Showers I still fucking love, but I hate that it's too long to fit. Right? Yeah, that's 13 characters. That's a shame. That's a really good nickname. But you always gotta check, because otherwise you're gonna get someone's hopes up. They're gonna type it into their Game Boy that they totally still have to play Pokemon Sword and Shield, you know, the Game Boy, and then you're like, damn. And then you're gonna be sad. One I saw in a previous episode and had written down was Guns and Hoses. That one I thought was pretty clever, because Galler also likes to lean into the rock band theme quite a bit. But I didn't go with any of these. I did follow that motif, but I thought, let's do something that nobody else is going to do, but still pay homage to one of my favorite franchises of all time. I named mine Trevelyan. after the bad guy in GoldenEye, who was 006. I figured that's probably not going to be plastered 50 billion times all over the internet. It follows what I already love and care for, and, you know, it makes me original and different. So that was my idea. I figured 006 was a good enough choice. I'd like to do more James Bond-based names if I can, but some of them work and some of them are very hard. You know, like you can't really use Jaws. You can, but it's not going to look very creative. But that's it. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Any ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. Let us know what you'd use, what you'd recommend. Inteleon, Bubble 07. Let's see, because, you know, with the starters, we always get which of the Galar ones are going to be the most popular. Which one do you think will probably be the most viewed out of the Galar episodes? This one I feel like has definitely had the best suggestions. So, for sure. And then I guess if you want to also include what Galar starter you've used. I picked Sobble as well. Like, I generally never went with a water starter because I just felt like there was other better water types. But it's really nice to do it, especially now that HMs are a thing of the past. And you don't have to follow those norms anymore.
James? For England.
For England,